Climate change. Cut ignorance and be aware. Nature is one of the components of why people do live in this planet. But due to some abusive people, Earth tends to experience this type of phenomena. The sudden change on temperature has the big impact on some humans, or some people worth living, and that is climate change.
Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as through variations in the solar cycle. But since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas.
The greenhouse effect, or warming that happens when the atmosphere traps heat radiation from the Earth that is radiating towards space, is what scientists believe is responsible for the increase in global warming that has been seen since the mid-20th century. Many of these greenhouse gases occur naturally, but human activities are increasing the concentrations of some of them in the atmosphere. In particular, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. The main cause of global warming is carbon dioxide, which is created by human activity. Its atmospheric concentration increased by 48% in 2020 compared to pre-industrial levels before the year 1750. Human activities also cause smaller amounts of other greenhouse gases to be released. The atmospheric life of methane is shorter than carbon dioxide, while being a more potent greenhouse gas. Similar to carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide is a long-lived greenhouse gas that builds up in the atmosphere over several decades to centuries. It is believed that natural factors such as variations in solar radiation or volcanic activity contribute less than plus or minus 0.1 degrees Celsius to global warming between 1890 and 2010.
Simply put, if we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves. Sea level rise, strong storm, scorching heat, destructive fires, severe drought, penal floods. The effects of climate change are already threatening our health, our communities, our economy, our security, and the future of our children. High temperatures. The climate issue has raised the world's average temperature and is causing heat waves and other high temperature extremes to occur more frequently, increased mortality, decreased productivity, and damage to infrastructure are all effects of higher temperatures. Drought and wildfires. Numerous European regions are already dealing with droughts that are increasingly frequent, severe, and persistent as a result of climate change. Availability of fresh water, sea level rise, evaporation rates climb, glacier melts, and rainfall patterns alter as the climate warms. These elements all have an impact on the accessibility of fresh water. Biodiversity. Many plant and animal species are unable to keep up with the pace of climate change. There is a sample proof that biodiversity is already adapting to climate change and will do so in the future. Health. The health of humans, animals, and plants are all seriously threatened by climate change. Vulnerable population. In general, population groups with fewer incomes and assets are more vulnerable to the effects of climate change, yet have less ability to cope with them. This is especially true for those who live in low-income urban areas with an inadequate infrastructure. Agriculture and forestry. The agricultural production is expected to be significantly impacted by climate change and climate variability, both in terms of crop yields and the regions where different crops can be cultivated.
Solutions to lessen the impacts of climate change. The effects of climate change have an enormous impact on many aspects of our life, making it a very significant issue. If you don't take immediate climate action, these effects will only get worse. Renewable energies. Converting to clean and renewable energy as our primary energy sources. Biomass, solar, wind, and geothermal energy are potential solutions. Sustainable transportation. Our modes of transportation must comply with environmental regulations and minimize their carbon footprint. Rethinking our transportation strategies in order to move toward eco-friendly mobility must start with the design phase. Waste management and recycling. Our consumption patterns must also take recycling into consideration. The amount of waste supplied to incinerators is decreased via waste avoidance and recycling, which lowers the greenhouse gas emissions from combustion. The composition of trash in landfills releases greenhouse gases. Drive less. Increase your use of mass transit, biking, walking, and carpooling. For every mile you don't drive, you'll save 1 pound of carbon dioxide. Plant a tree. Over the duration of its existence, a single tree will absorb 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Conserve water. Energy can be saved by conserving water. Reducing your water use also lowers your carbon footprint because energy is required to filter, heat, and pump water to your home. Turn off electronic devices. By simply doing this, you can save a ton-pounds of carbon dioxide in a year. According to the Department of Energy, unplugging appliances when not in use might result in monthly savings of 10%. Make the habit of unplugging appliances the same as turning off the lights in order to save energy.
Ecosia is a search engine, and 100% of Ecosia's profits go toward fighting climate change, with more than 80% going to initiatives that involve planting trees. In addition, delete as many emails as possible to reduce carbon emissions and electric energy use. By simply using Ecosia and deleting emails, we can help to prevent climate change.
Be a part of the solution, not part of the pollution.